right, good afternoon, Bexleyheath Academy. Welcome, remarkable BA students. It's World Book Day today, and we have a remarkable program for you at home. Not even a world pandemic can keep BA society away from our books. Without further ado, I'm going to hand you over to Miss Mensah.
Good afternoon, everybody at Bexleyheath Academy. Today is the 26th World Book Day, which is an annual event where we celebrate the gift of books around the world. Words are truly important to us all. When you think with words. When you laugh with friends, words form the basis of your jokes, riddles, and digs. With words, we learn, we love, and we fight. And it's only right that we capture some of this greatness in the versatility of books. Reading is such an important part of our lives. We can throw ourselves into any story and let our imaginations run free with the characters that we meet. Books have a way of staying with us. They are more than just words. They are experiences. They are memories that we cherish. Take a look at me, for example. Who do you think I am? It's not obvious at all, but I am indeed Little Red Riding Hood. And I'm sure that you have not read her story in quite a few years, but she's still deeply embedded in your memory. There are a lot of stories that take us back in time. We're going to have a look at a couple of stories that I'm sure you'll remember. I'm going to show you the cover of a book, and I want you, with the Slido poll, to decide what is the title of that legendary book. So scan the code or follow the link or follow the hashtag to the Slido poll, and you'll be able to take part of our quiz. Okay, so the first one. What is the title of this famous childhood book? Couple of seconds. I love this one. I actually watch it every Christmas. It's brilliant. Okay, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's have a look at the results. Oh, I see no votes have come through. Did I go to? Oh, there they are. There they are. 100% the Gruffalo. If you had got that one wrong, I would have been incredibly disappointed. It is indeed the Gruffalo. I think I'll give you a bit more time on the next one. Take a look at the next book cover. What is the title of this famous childhood book? I read this as a little girl. Couple of hints. Look at the colors. Look at the animal depicted. Can you remember its name? Okay, let's see if the poll is active yet. Oh, some of you don't know. Oh, okay, there we go. The colourful elephant was not correct. It's getting quite a few votes. It was Elmer the Patchwork Elephant, which is the correct answer. Well done to those of you who remembered. And we'll move on. This one, love this one. What is the title of this famous childhood book? 10 seconds. Shall we start to take a look at the poll? I hope you guys got this one correct. I mean, this is a legendary one. Okay, let's have a look. The correct answer was The Very Hungry Caterpillar. And I see all of you. Okay, no, the caterpillar that became a butterfly, kind of. But I see most of you did get the Very Hungry Caterpillar. And that does bring back so much nostalgia, doesn't it? I hope these books have brought back pleasant memories for you as much as they have for me. The world of books does not end at childhood. I'm going to pass you on to Miss Cresty, who will tell us a little bit more about the origins of World Book Day and why it is such an important day for us all.
Thank you for that, Miss Mensah, and good afternoon, BA. So, why was World Book Day introduced? World Book Day was created by UNESCO on the 23rd of April in 1995 to celebrate books and authors and encourage young people to discover the pleasure of reading. The 23rd of April is the traditional day in which the day was celebrated, as this date was selected to honour the deaths of William Shakespeare and Miguel de Cervantes. The UK, however, celebrates World Book Day on the first Thursday in March so that it can be celebrated in school term time. This gives school children maximum exposure to all of the fabulous events and activities World Book Day has to offer, and allows them and their parents to enter into the spirit of the day. Today, World Book Day is more widely known as a day for children to dress up as their favourite fictional characters, keeping reading exciting and inviting discussion around chosen books. This aspect of the day is so important as it shows how prevalent fictional characters are in all of our lives. Similarly to the way that you may recognise a story without having read it in years, you may also be able to identify fictional characters through fancy dress or through a brief description. We're now going to use Slido again to see if we can identify famous characters featured in literature from a brief description written about them. So again, can you please use the hashtag #BABook to enter into this one? So the first description of a fictional character is, I'm an elusive man that many claims to know, but very few have actually had the pleasure of meeting. I live an enviable life and host lavish parties regularly. Each week, I wait and hope that the woman I love might stumble into one of my lavish parties. Who do we think this could be? Give you 10 seconds just to do this one. Okay, let's see what we think. So, mixed opinions here. So the correct answer is Jay Gatsby. Obviously, he hosts parties every week in the hopes that Daisy Buchanan will stumble into one of them. So I spend most of my time in the girls' toilets on the second floor as I was attacked years ago. The event still haunts me, the thought of what happened slithering through my thoughts like a snake. My attacker also petrified many students in my school. Who could I be? Let's have a look and see what everyone thinks. Oh, so there's a bit of a mixture there as well. So, sorry, this is the wrong answer. The right answer is Moaning Myrtle here, not Ginny Weasley. Don't know why that's happened. Bit of a technical error. Okay, and the last one. I'm a 9-year-old boy with a huge appetite. My mother and I are very close and she takes great pride in my gluttonous eating. However, my appetite has been known to get me in some trouble, even ruining golden opportunities I've had in the past. Who could I be? So the correct answer is Augustus Gloop there. But again, mixed answers. Brilliant. Well done for those. So what do we think some of the benefits of reading can be? So some of the benefits that you might not have known can be that reading can help to reduce stress. It can help improve your memory, and it can help you also expand your vocabulary. So books can also be a source of entertainment. I know a lot of you have been spending quite a lot of time at home recently. There's only so much Netflix that you'll be able to watch. So books can be a great source of entertainment in that way as well. So I'm now going to pass on to Miss Townsend.
Thank you, Miss, and good afternoon, BA, and happy World Book Day. In this part of the assembly, we're going to be looking at how books have influenced our screens and also how Shakespeare has influenced our day-to-day language. Did you know that it is argued that there are only 7 stories in the world? That's quite a mind-boggling fact when you think about all of the different stories and books. You've read probably at least more than 7 as part of a school already. Let's have a look at what some of those stories are. Overcoming the monster. Oh, sorry. Rags to riches, so being poor to extremely wealthy. The quest, searching for something. Voyage and return, so going out and coming back. Another adventure style story. Comedy, tragedy, and rebirth. I would be fascinated if you can think of a story that does not fit into one of those 7 stories. In fact, I'm going to challenge you now to do exactly that. Next time you see one of your English teachers, I want you to ask them, do you believe that there really can only be 7 stories in the entire world? Can you think of one that does not fit into one of these categories? Next slide, please. You know what is coming. We're doing #BABook. I want you to get back into Slido, and we're going to look at a couple of clips of books to screen. And you need to figure out what was the influence, which book influenced this famous film. Next slide, please. If we can press play on that video, and then we can guess which book influenced this movie. I can see that technology is really our friend today. This is Hunger Games. We might have to do it without watching the clip unless it comes in soon. Think back to Katniss. Think back to when you've potentially watched this film. Think about the title, Hunger Games. Ah, here we are.
Welcome. The time has come to select one courageous young man and woman for the honor of
Thank you. That was almost quite dramatic without the music and the talking, actually. It was a lot of pain and children being separated from their families. In the Slido now, can you vote? Which famous story do you think influenced that? Was it Hercules? Was it The Little Mermaid? Clash of the Titans? Or Theseus and the Minotaur? Interesting. So the correct answer was actually Theseus and the Minotaur. Some of you might not have heard of this story before, but essentially it was one king promised another king that he would not attack for 9 years if he was able to take 7 girls and 7 boys from his kingdom and feed them to his monster, to the Minotaur. Rather interesting story. Imagine if we did that at BA, if we chose 7 of you, boys and girls, and we fed you to a monster just so we could get better grades. Next slide, please. This film, I think all of you will have watched, Black Panther, an incredible film. If you haven't, get out there and watch it now. But what influenced it? Do you know already? Have a think.
I have seen gods fly. I've seen men build weapons that I couldn't even imagine. I've seen aliens drop from the sky. Yeah, but I haven't seen anything like this. Which one did I do? Oh yeah, let's go. Son, this is your time. You get to decide what kind of king you are going to be. Don't freeze. I never freeze.
Such a great film. But what influenced it? Vote now. Was it The Jungle Book? Was it a comic book? Was it Lord of the Rings? Or was it Spider-Man? Okay, in this one, the answer is actually a comic book. And I think it's important that we remember that comic books are pieces of literature, and they can be very, very influential in inspiring people to make incredible films. Thank you. Final clip, please. And I hope we can listen to this one properly because there's some good jokes in it.
Throughout history, the Almighty has appeared unto a very few. Moses, Abraham, Joan of Arc, Bruce. Next summer, he will choose a new prophet to bring his message to the world. But God only knows why he chose heaven. Let it out, son. It's the beginning of wisdom. Who are you? I'm God. Yeah, I want you, Evan Baxter, to build an ark. Building an ark is really not part of my plans here. Wait, what? I need to make a good impression at work. Gentlemen, good to see you. Hey there, you look like a bun in a suit. Oh, are you starting BT's tribute band? Doc, you gotta go shave. I can't shave. Whenever I shave, the beard grows right back in. Oh, that's what happens when you shave. But then you shave again. Don't worry, help is on the way. And if anybody asks, let's go. You want to build a boat? It might be something fun for the family. Go sailing on the lake. I don't know. You afraid in case it floods or something?
Fantastic. I think we were able to kind of get some of the jokes in there. But which one, which story influenced this comedy film, Evan Almighty? Was it Genesis, the Bible, Exodus, the Bible, Taylor Swift's autobiography, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire? Give you a few seconds to get your answers in there. No curveballs whatsoever, completely serious answers. Okay, so let's see whether it's Taylor Swift or not. Let's go. Fantastic. Well, we all know it's going to be the Bible, don't we? And the Bible influenced so many different pieces of literature. You'll often hear your English teachers talking about that, particularly with Shakespeare. But Genesis, the Bible, yeah, in the very first book, Noah and the Ark was that particular story. Next slide, please. Now moving on to words we use because of the bard. Bard simply being a word-of-mouth poet. I often hear students creating their own words, and I think that they're absolutely incredible, and you can be the next bard. Did you know, however, that Shakespeare created over 1,700 words? Without him, we would not have the word swagger, we would not have the word lonely, and we would not have the verb to elbow. Without Shakespeare, we would just be looking down at our elbows thinking this is not a viable weapon. But now, because of him, it's an actual attack. Now we know what time it is. Let's have Slido again. We're going to be looking at, is this Shakespeare or is this not my Shakespeare? Give you a few minutes. Is it mums? Did he make up mums, melt, deep, or banter? Let's have a look. 86% banter. A couple of you thought deep. Interesting. Next one, please. Which of these popular phrases comes from Shakespeare? It's raining cats and dogs. Fair play. What goes around comes around. Water under the bridge. And let's see what you put. Lots of you thought it was raining cats and dogs. Actually, it's fair play, which is probably the one I wouldn't have gone to, but I actually Googled this yesterday to get the answer, but just sort of shows you how embedded his language is in ours. Final competition, final quiz. Which of these insults was written by myself and not Shakespeare? Are you a fleshmonger, a fool, or a coward? Get away, you toad face. Your face is not worth sun burning. More of your conversation would infect my brain. Okay, this one essentially is, how mean do you think I am? What would I say as an insult to you? And let's see. Oh, wow, you think I'm a lot meaner. More of your conversation would infect my brain. I am not that cruel. Get away, Toadface was the best I could come up with. I'm sure you could do much better. And my final note to you, really, today, BA on World Book Day, is we're all, in a way, we can all be wordsmiths. We can all create our own words. We can all create our own stories. Yes, are there 7 stories in the world? Maybe, but you can make one different. You can make one different from everyone else's. You could create a word that in thousands of years' time, people are still using. So my task, what I want you to walk away from today thinking is, I can be a wordsmith. Thank you very much. I'm going to pass you over now to Miss Mush.
Sorry, there. Now we know, Bexleyheath Academy, that books are so important. Without books, there will be no films. Now, just a little message to you. Those of you who have been asking where you can get books, the National Literacy Trust, the slide there that you can all see, every single week a popular children's author or illustrator will provide you with free books. And I've gone onto this site, I've listened to the books, and they are absolutely amazing. And there's a very, very wide range. And there's exclusive videos and their top 3 recommended reads. I urge you to go on to the National Literacy Trust and make sure that you read to your heart's desire. And the next thing that we're going to do is going to listen to the readers of sixth form. Yes, if sixth form students who have passed their GCSEs still like reading, and I am going to hand you over to Alfie. Alfie.
Thanks, Miss, and good morning to Year 7, 8 and 9. My name's Alfie, and as a sixth former, I study physics, maths, biology, and English literature. You may be thinking, why have I chosen 3 scientific subjects and literature? Well, personally, I'm invested in the importance of reading, whether it's for leisure or education, as the mind is the most powerful tool we have, and through reading, we can broaden our perspectives, structure our arguments, and strengthen our memory. Reading is embedded into all of our learning, from primary school all the way up to university. You must do independent reading, and the further up you go, the clearer it is who does and does not read. More than this, the benefits of reading are not just confined to education, as you could become anyone or anything when you read. You can read stories from every continent in the world, from many eras. The variety is endless. So those of you who think reading is boring, then simply find a book more tailored to your interests, such as a book depicting a supernatural adventure or a horror novel set in a dark London. However, if you think you have no time for reading, then you could always read a book before going to bed instead of watching YouTube, or maybe download an ebook to read on your journey to school. On the other hand, you may consider yourself more of an artist or a scientist. Then perhaps picking up a popular science book on space exploration, or maybe a book dedicated to a certain artist and their works. Yet again, the variety is endless. Therefore, I'll close by saying that it does not matter what future path you wish to follow, reading will always be beneficial for you. And I now pass to me.
Thank you, Alfie. Hi, I'm Timi Akitola Aimi. I study English, psychology, history, and IT. I used to think that reading was just something I had to do because of school, but turns out I had this mindset because I'd already made up my mind that I didn't like reading or enjoy it outside of school, even before picking up a book to read. People tend to get distracted or get bored when reading, which is normal. However, it is important that when reading you focus because it helps you to understand and interpret what you read. Although you may think that you didn't like to read, reading helps in our everyday life. You probably just need to find a way that will help you enjoy reading. As I've begun to read more, I've realized that reading helps to formulate how I speak to people. Reading is essential for everyone. Reading is important because it helps our vocabulary. Reading allows us to improve our language skills. It makes us understand how to listen, and it enables us to be able to think and form an opinion. Thank you.
Heather.
Okay, so yeah, my name is Heather, and I study history, psychology, and English literature at A level. And reading is something that has definitely helped me in my studies when it gets a little bit more difficult. I haven't decided whether I want to become a lawyer or a teacher later on yet. So either career that I choose, reading is going to make and has made such a big impact in that path. Now, at your age, you're either going to be someone who naturally loves reading, or you're going to be a little bit reluctant towards it, maybe even hostile. You may just not enjoy it. But at your age, reading is something that you're going to have to learn to love. As someone who studies all essay-based subjects and wants to go into a career that relies on that, reading goes a lot deeper than just reading a few pages of a book that might not interest you. You learn from reading that language is so powerful in terms of not just what you want to say, but how you want to present yourself as a student. By exposing yourself to different types of books and writers, you can develop your own writing, which doesn't just apply to your standard English subjects. It can help you in sports or science. As an example of Alfie, it can really help you develop into an eloquent writer and help you get the top grades, which I hope you're all aiming for. So please just make sure, it's a bit of a nag, but make sure you're reading at least a little bit, even if it is just a few pages a week.
Thank you very much, Heather. And we now go on to the masked reader.
Ooh. Good afternoon, Bexleyheath Academy. Happy World Book Day. To celebrate World Book Day, you may have already taken part in one of our wonderful World Book Day lessons in English. We really hope you enjoy them. And if there are opportunities for you to go on and read PDF text, then I certainly recommend that you do. This year, we will also be running a very special edition of the Masked Reader competition, featuring some of your favourite teachers masked and reading parts of their favourite books or books that mean something to them. We're going to share the first one of these with you this morning, and then the others will be shared with you in your English classes over the course of the next week. When you have seen them all, we're going to give you a Google form to guess which teachers are who. So if you get all of the teachers and you guess all of them correctly, and which story they've read, we will have a winner and there will be a prize. So here is the first entry into our competition. Hopefully it will work.
We live in hope, miss. I'm sure it will play.
Hello. Now I'm going to do the Masked Reader challenge. So, the boy who lived, Mr. and Mrs. Dursley of number 4 Privet Drive, were proud to say they were perfectly normal. Thank you very much. They were the last people you would expect to be involved in anything strange or mysterious, because they just didn't hold with such nonsense. Mr. Dursley was a director of a firm called Grunnings, which made drills. He was a big, beefy man with hardly any neck, although he did have a very large moustache. Mrs. Dursley was thin and blonde and had nearly twice the usual amount of neck, which came in very useful as she spent most of her time craning over garden fences, spying on the neighbours, and that is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Okay, guys, so remembering that you will be given a form at the end of next week. There will be a new teacher reading to you every day, and the winner will receive a prize. May the odds be ever in your favour. Back to Miss Mensa.
Oh, amazing, Miss Mensa.
Hello again. Little Red is no longer here. I killed her, along with the King of Scotland. I do have a story time for you, though. I really do hope that you've enjoyed the assembly so far. We are going to show you the lasting power of a good read. Take a look at this animation of Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart. And at the end of the assembly, in your Google form, we'll ask you what you think is going to happen next. We're going to play you 5 minutes of it. Do enjoy.
Impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain. But once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object it is not. Passion it is not. I love the old man. I think it was his eye. It was this. He had the eye of a long child. And so, by degrees, I made up my mind to take the life of the old man. You fancy me mad? Madmen know nothing. But you should have seen me. With what dissimulation I went to work. Every night about midnight, I turned the latch of his door and opened it. Who would have
He heard me. Now you may think that I drew back, but no. His room was black as pitch with thick dark. And so I knew that he could not see me opening the door. Who is there? He cried out. It was the groan of mortal terror. Listen, the beating of the old man's heart. And now a new anxiety seized me. The sound could be heard by a neighbor. The old man's hour had come. He was stone dead. His eye would trouble me no more. It's dirty getting that. You will think so no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of the body. The shriek had been heard by a neighbor during the night. Suspicion of foul play had been aroused. What had I to fear? The shriek, I said, was my own a bad dream. The old man I mentioned was absent. In the contrary, I took the visitors all over the house. I bade them search well. I led them at length to his chamber, and desired them here to rest from their fatigue. While I myself, in the wild audacity of my perfect plan, placed my own seat upon the very spot beneath which reposed the corpse of the victim. My manner had convinced them I was singularly at ease. They sat and chatted familiar things.
So, I wonder what you think will happen next. Please do tell us in the Google form. If you would like to read the full text, they are also linked to the Google form as well. There is also a link to reading resources so that you can continue enjoying World Book Day beyond today. Now, unfortunately, I do have to hand over to Miss Mush. As Lady Macbeth, it would have only been right if I could actually close the assembly, but I didn't have time to kill her as well. So I pass over to her.
Well, Miss Mensa, good always overcomes evil. Even Shakespeare believes in that. Bexleyheath Academy, before we leave, Bexleyheath Academy is absolutely proud to announce that it has its own very World Book Day champions. We have a few remarkable students who throughout the year have been reading an incredible amount of books. Bedrock champions are River in year 7, remarkable improvement through reading. We'll see in year 7, remarkable achievement in reading. Louis S. in year 8, remarkable dedication to reading. And for accelerated reader, we have year 8 from 9 tests above his target. And in year 9, Abdul S. with 13 tests above his target. And in year 7, Mina C with a huge 31 tests above the target. And there is a Google form classroom that you need to complete for Miss Mensa, Lady Macbeth, Murderer. Enjoy your World Book Day, Bexleyheath Academy. May reading be the force. Goodbye now and see you soon.